Look now, I know, yeah, that I've been talking about like just taking things, yeah, as they are for now, because it's getting into the new structure of the club. The ones there, but what I will never understand, is Ten Hag picking the wrong players. And the thing about it is that obviously, look now, a lot of men and a lot of people out there, they're not obviously, look, a lot of people go to watch football for different reasons. Let's keep it a buck. For entertainment, tourists, and all of that. But what you see right there, especially right when Ten Hag has now been backed, and when I mean backed, I mean backed here to the probably almost here to the fullest. Don't forget that this guy has spent more than any other manager here since Sir Alex. So this is not about like trying to point fingers or anything like that, right? And I mean that he had the veto. So what I will say is that great. Euro is in, obviously injured. He'll be back. Now you have Mazraoui, Xerxes, Delete, and oh, man, it's like I don't even remember the other guy that we brought in. Cause like I said, I'm losing my mind. I mean, okay, look, right, look now. Look, we brought in 5 players. We brought in 5 players, right? And the thing about it is that that how can you allow Brighton to do that? Now, don't forget that this Brighton team, right, is not yet even De Zerbi's team. They weren't even pressing that much. They were there for the taking. And the thing about it is that you entered the game with Bruno and Mount, and there you entered the game without no strikers. And we know that anybody that's trained to be a striker, and all strikers, have a certain amount of ability to finish their dinner. And obviously, we know that. Oh, we know for sure, that we had a couple of goals offside, including what happened with Garnacho. Obviously, with Xerxes, it was very unlucky because he's trying to get the ball and Garnacho gets it. He's trying to tap it in, but then as Xerxes is trying to get up, it hits him. And the thing about it is that Garnacho, you have the whole goal to aim at, but yet you kind of aim it to where Xerxes is. The thing about it is that what I'll never understand is that look, obviously, look, with everything that's happening right now, including what's happening in the transfer market, right? Obviously, I'm keeping it the deep low. I'm not getting too excited because we have to see it. We have to see it the way it is. And the way, man, that we played in that game in the first half year was dreadful, fam. It was absolutely dreadful. Do you allow Brighton to score? You allow them to score? And no, the thing about it is that when you don't have a player that have instincts on goal, that's when you're in trouble. Mason Mount and Bruno playing as whatever, if it's false 9, false 10, false 13, I don't care. I don't know what Ten Hag is thinking to putting them two there as per usual in the last game. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, has Ten Hag even learnt from the previous game when Mount and Bruno Fernandes, those both players couldn't even finish their dinner? Having them two in the lineup is like, I mean, it's like trying to, I don't know, it's like you're going to eat food without no teeth. That's how it looks like. And but the worst thing about it is Sancho. The worst thing, because I remember I looked at the lineup, right, and I'm like, okay, wait, I'm expecting Sancho to be in this lineup. I don't give a fam. I don't care. He has to be in that lineup. He has to be in that lineup, right? Because of what you said before about what, like Sancho wasn't in the club, wasn't in the team because of an ear infection, and then he came out before and said something like oh, there are certain players that won't be in the club. Sorry, I keep saying club, but in the team, you know. People players have to deal with it. The fact that I tell you what, man, what I will say to Ten Hag is that why don't you just say it straight? Like the way the Chelsea manager is doing it right now. He's saying it cut from the buck. He's saying, look, Sancho, I mean, not Sancho, but Sterling, right? Sterling. We heard what happened with Sterling. We heard what happened with Sterling, fam. Now, look, obviously, yeah, for all of us, right? You know, Sterling, right? We all know, yeah, that Sterling, he's like, you know, of a player, right? And the thing about it is that the Chelsea manager, right, he's saying that, look, Sterling is a great player, but he's not the player that I needed for my style, you know, to excel yeah, at this club. And that is the reason why he stripped him off the number 7 shirt. And the thing that he's saying it so direct. And the thing about it is that for me personally, right, if I go into a manager's office, right, you know, for an important meeting, and then never say, I want him to be straight out my face and tell me, look, BRAZY, look, I love you as a player. You're great. You're fantastic. You're technical. You're direct, but the way that you play in your style is not great yet for the way I play. So I want you to go and find another club where you get minutes. And this is what Ten Hag needs to do. You can't tell Sancho one thing, tell the media another thing, and go and act another thing behind the scenes. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Fam, I just don't get it. Maybe says that Sancho needs to fight fight to get in the team. Fight to get in the team when he's one of your best players, one of your best technical players, who's able to hold the ball exactly like the way your Ahmad is. We will talk about Ahmad later on, and as well the way Xerxes does it. To get in a team like this where we have Rashford and McTominay. McTominay, man, doesn't do anything. He just what? Box crashes. He doesn't bring anything into the game. Rashford, all he does, even in that game, Rashford didn't do anything. You wonder why? You wonder how Rashford gets into this team, but Rashford doesn't. Sancho doesn't. Sorry about that. Sancho doesn't. Sancho, like, I don't really understand. Like, like when I heard Sancho, balling out here in preseason. Obviously, for all of us, man, like, we shouldn't even take preseason that seriously. The ones there, because the thing about it is that it's just to bring up the fitness and everything. But the thing about it is that when you have that manager, when you have Ten Hag as your manager, and then he's doing different things in preseason, and then he's doing a different thing in the season, how can you trust the process? How can you trust what's going on? How can you? How can you? The performance here was dead food. I'm not gonna lie, it was dead, fam. It was dead. And then the thing about it is that we knew. Look, we saw Garnacho. We saw the manager telling Garnacho, man, to go in and train. We just knew. All of us were thinking, like, wait a second. Ahmad got off around the 60th minute in both games previously. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. So we were thinking. So I was even thinking, nah. Let me guess. You have it pre-planned that Garnacho's gonna come on here for Ahmad, right? Let's keep 100. Let's keep 100, fam. Like, and then Rashford had a terrible game, and it was right to take him off. It was right. I mean, I'm not gonna. He's not. I mean, he's not bringing anything to the game. He's not. He's definitely not. And the thing about it is that, like, in the game, right, like, everything was a little bit slow, right? And then we were like, come on, take Brighton. They're there for the taking. Take them. Casemiro, man, he was doing good. Mazzarri, Casemiro, and Ahmad on the right hand side, they were doing bits on that side. Especially, I remember there's a moment, yeah, where like especially to the goal of Ahmad, that through pass, man, to Mazzarri, and Ahmad took the look, cut inside, the way that he did that that feint at the same time, cut inside, smack, goes in. Fantastic goal. That was a brilliant goal. And then I remember there was a moment, I forgot when it was before or after the goal, yeah, where like there was some fantastic link up play, and it looked as if Ahmad was coming up, but he back heeled it, right? Oh man, I was thinking to myself, if only, man, we had a similar player on the other side. A similar play to the other side. No, but all of a sudden, man, like Ten Hag, man, Sancho is one of your best players. Now look, no, don't get me wrong, right? This is not me saying that, oh, I want my favorite players to play. No, I want the best players to play for this club, to play here for the team. Now all of a sudden he brings up McTominay for Fernandes. What is McTominay gonna do? I know I'm a little bit all over the place, but fam, like, you kind of think to yourself, man, like, you sit there, right, and all of a sudden, we all know, the transfer market, man, is going cool, absolutely fantastic, and then we say, look, let's keep it about, let's keep it calm, right, because, we have to see what's gonna go, we have to see what's definitely gonna go down, and all of a sudden, yep, Xerxes, man, you scored against Fulham, in the previous game. I say, okay, let's keep it down, let's keep it low. But all of a sudden, man, yeah, we see that in this game against Brighton, and as well as, yeah, like a manager, who, I mean, wasn't the Brighton manager like a new manager? Nobody, you got schooled. I don't understand, man. Like, you have quality. Here, like Sancho. Sancho is exactly like Ahmad. The thing I never understand, right? The thing I'll never understand, right, is the treatment here with Sancho is just crazy. Ten Hag need a knocking on his head to say, think straight, fam. Think straight. No, you can just tell that Ten Hag, right? Ten Hag just don't like Sancho I think probably, yeah, man, yeah, I don't even know. I don't think it is probably as a person. I think it's just as a player. Because Sancho is a similar player to Ahmad. It's a similar player to Ahmad. The treatment that you have with Ahmad here in the previous season, the season before, right, the last season, and all of a sudden, right, like, no one can't say that this same treatment is the same treatment as Sancho. No, less of that. It's not. It's not the same treatment, because the thing about it is that Ahmad, right, he was injured. He came back, right. And then all of a sudden, right, Ten Hag still didn't play him. When you know full well that Anthony got problems, and other than that, he's not been playing well. Way to go, man, for taking off your Mason Mount for Xerxes. That tells you everything you need to know about what we're all saying. Tells you everything you need to know. I don't really understand, I mean, like, I don't really understand. I don't understand what's going on. I don't know yet what Ten Hag is actually going through his mind. I guarantee any money, man, that that Rudy was the one that probably gave him the nod here to take a Rashford, because he's not, because the thing about it is that he's not, he's not like, he's not like gunning, he's not gun shooting, he's not actually, he's not being clinical, driving things wide and everything like that. I just don't really understand. And the thing about it is that, like, you have players here like Rashford and like Garnacho, and they're both runners. They're not those players, man. Yeah, they don't hold the ball. They have the ball and then they you know, like, and they have the ball and just boot the ball and run with it. Where you have your players here like Sancho and Ahmad and Xerxes as well, who are able to hold the ball, able to scan the game. Why can't you just use that, yeah, as to your advantage? And Xerxes is a link player. To able to get the best out of link play, you need players that also link as well. Not having players, man, that... The thing about it is that you need to have players that are great technically. To able, man, to pass the ball at the right time. Pass the ball, yeah, at the right time, right pace as well. And then we just lost that game in the last minute. And the thing about it is that, how are you, I mean, how, I don't know, how are you ever, man, going to get, how are you ever going to get the best out of Xerxes? How are you? How are you? How are you? It's peak. Absolute peak. Absolute peak here for Xerxes now. You know, you kind of sit there and say to yourself, look, okay, look, we're keeping on the D club, but at the same time we're just realizing, yeah, that all these, we're realizing that Ten Hag is still here. You know, we're buzzing about the players that are coming in, but then we realize, yeah, that actually Ten Hag is still here, making some really dumb decisions, and it looked like as if he's actually doing this in purpose. And then you can just tell that he has his favorites. You know, it's not like as if that he's going to use. It's like as if that he's battling it between his favorites and battling it between the best player for the team against the opponent that you're facing. I would rather, yeah, have players, man, that are really great, really, really good IQ. Get the best out of them. I don't understand. We were toothless. We were toothless. The only shining light, man, was Ahmad, and people were getting on Ahmad. And Ahmad, man, showed you, all you, man, yeah, about that he shouldn't be the one be taken off. And a great example, yeah, for Sancho. I don't really understand. Sancho, man, was balling. And then he was balling, man, yeah, in last season. People must say, no, man, you can't count last season. Oh, you can count last season to an extent. He took Dortmund to the Champions League final. So use what you have. Use your best tools to get the best out of your team to beat Brighton. Ten Hag, fam. Ineos is breathing down your neck. They can see everything. The shit is, man. I don't know, man. Like, no, look, look. Anybody yet? Look, as I said before, man. Like, we won the best year for Manchester United. You know them. You know, like that. And the thing about it is that, look, if you're getting treated horrible, if you're being lied to, right, and then not even that, man. Not even that. Even gaslighted. Saying one thing to a player and saying another thing. And then you're like, oh my days. Players, man, like Sancho, man, for the best out of the club. And people often say that, oh yeah, like Sancho got an attitude. Sancho, look at the way Sancho is. Sancho, man, he's a calm brother. People say, oh man, look at the way he is. He's not bothered and this and that. Something like what happened to Martial before he left the club. Oh yeah, he doesn't really care. Look at Berbatov, fam. Berbatov was one of the best technical players on the planet, fam. You know, like that. And the thing about it is that the way that he played, man, in a cool, calm, collected way, able, man, to get the ball, able to link the play. Even though he was a striker, sometimes he will go deep to link play get into the box and score a goal. Do you see how Berbatov used to play? The way Berbatov was, in the way that he was cool and collective, looked like as if he wasn't bothered, but then he was bothered. It's something similar to Sancho. Sancho does care. Give him a run of games. This is why I'm saying that. Look, do you know what? Not Garnacho, man. I mean Sancho. You know, like, the thing about it is that I would even say it, man. Yeah, for even like Xerxes, if Xerxes right keeps on getting this kind of service where the linking, where like, yeah, he's drawing players into play, linking up, getting in the pocket and linking up, right? If he's not linking up, he's gonna get frustrated. Maguire is a squad player. Bring in Delete. Delete is a new signing. Bring him on. If he's not fit, don't put him on the bench. Don't bring him on. He kept Anthony. Who's a better player, Anthony or Sancho? Anthony or Sancho? Who's a better player? Can Anthony do what Sancho did in Dortmund last year? For the better for his profession, his football career, or whatever you like to call it, right? Because I call it profession. You know, to get the minutes he needs to prove people wrong. Because last year he really proved it wrong. You know, Sancho just needs the right environment, the right people around him, man, to give him the encouragement every day. You know, to make him feel like he's wanted. If someone's don't feel like he's wanted, the man, he's gonna leave. He's gonna leave. That's one of your best players. And you said, oh, he has to fight. What has Rashford done you over 2 years? No. Right now and last year, what did he do? If anyhow that Rashford Rashford's season is the same as last season, that tells you everything you need to know. You know, rarely man, it hits you in the face and be like, fam, Sancho is a possibility that Sancho is going to end up leaving. Someone needs to step in, fam. But at the same time, you're like, look, Sancho, Jaden, fam. Go to another club, man, fam. Go to another club, yeah, and just ball out. Do your best, man, outside Man United, because they're not treating you the way that you ought to be treated. I've been saying this. Every player is different. Every player looks energetic. Some players, they look like as if they're not bothered, but actually they are bothered. That's the way they are. And then people, yeah, slam players just because they don't play right, or they don't act right, or like it looks as if they're not bothered. Or probably I call it AI. I call it system AI. Everything's all robotic. It's getting to the AI football now. Everything needs to be around the AI. Oh yeah, let's put this player here because of the system. No, it's the AI. Sancho, man, he needs to leave the club and find a better club who treat him right. And I tell you right, man, all these technical players, it looks like the Ten Hag don't like technical players. All he likes here is players that run. If you like players that run, why did you get players here off from the Athletics? The France Athletics that just went past. The people, I mean, the athlete man that does the 100 meters, 200 meters. Why don't you get people from there and let them play for Manchester United? Fam. You know what? It tells you everything you need to know. I'm saying Mao, you know. It tells you everything you need to know. My mouth and my head is not coordinating at the moment in time, fam. You know, like that. It's just absolutely brazy, fam. The thing about it is that for me, man, like in any management, right, if a colleague is not being treated right, then that colleague is gonna leave. This is not just in football, right, but it's happening in the workplace as well. don't understand, man. You want the best for the club, and all of a sudden, man, you do that, and they say, "Oh no, because of the system." And then they say you have Anthony on the bench. Where the question I would like to the answer I would like to know, yeah, is that how comes Rashford is on the field but Sancho ain't? That's what I would like to know. How come Anthony is on the bench but Sancho isn't? What has Anthony done? But yet Ten Hag says that, oh, he has to fight to be in the team. I wonder. I just wonder. I don't know. It could be the fact that actually, like, Ten Hag here, he didn't buy Sancho, so it's like, get the best out of your players. Get the best. You're just gaslighting every time, and I guarantee you, man, at CR7, he might be. I tell you, man, the more you see this, man, the more you start to think, you know what? Cristiano Ronaldo at CR7, he might just be right about what's happened, about what had happened, and why he left the club. Because at one point, yeah, you say, oh yeah, I like, like I want to play with the best players. I'm going to, and all that. And everything. Yet, man, you put your CR7 on the bench. I don't know what happened behind the scenes, right? We don't know. But it looked like as if what just happened to CR7 last year is probably proving true. Ten Hag, man, Ineos, man, they're watching you, fam. They've been watching you and how you treating your players. It's about team management, fam. It's not about like. It's about like treating your players, and people need to realize that players, they are people. People are persons. And people have to go at Sancho, saying, "Oh, Sancho, he's not been playing well." He's been training well. Right now, what I will say is that here, what does Sancho need to do to get in the team? This is the exact same question I asked here in the last video. I'm not trying to say that, yeah, would Sancho would have won us the game? Look, we don't know. That's another alternative timeline. But what I will say is that give yourself a better chance. Because the more that if you play Sancho, Xerxes, and Ahmad, you might get the best front three. No one's gonna take us seriously, man. Yeah, if we're just gonna play random players that just runs, get hamstring injuries, instead of getting players, man, that are good up here and able to know, oh, look, Xerxes making a run. Let me make that little through pass there. Oh, let me hold it, give it to him, let him do a through pass. Fam, you know what? I'm out of here, fam. Like that. I'm out of here. Man. Take care of yourself. Bless. Peace. And I see you, man, in the next video. The next video, man, is actually the next game against Liverpool. Fam, I tell you what. I don't know what's going to happen, fam. I don't know what's going to happen, blood, but Ten Hag, man, he's a criminal, fam. He's a criminal, fam. He's killing the team. Killing, fam. Killing the best players. In the team.